Hello everyone, and this is Absolutely Stubborn, starting Tony.
And Kristen.
And we said it before, but we're absolutely stubborn.
Yes.
We got another one
Super
for
stubborn.
y'all.
Yes, we have another one. So this is crazy to me because you're just messing with somebody's life when you offer them a job and then you take it away. So this guy says that he gave his 2-week notice to his employer, and the new employer is rescinding the offer due to company restructuring. So it says, half writing this to get advice, half to hear what outcomes I should expect is why he's writing this. But it says, I was offered a role for a front-end developer position at a company. The company put me through 2 phone interviews, a coding project, and a 3-hour in-person interview, at the end of which I was offered the job the next week. I took it and signed their offer letter. Also had to go to the doctor for a drug test last week. In addition, they made me sign a confidentiality agreement, which is kind of funny now. Today they called me and said, due to restructuring, a lot of things will be changing at the company. They weren't clear on the intentions. I had to seek clarifications and ask them to send it in writing today to both myself and my recruiter. They haven't yet. They called my recruiter and left in gray with them. I think you misspelled that.
Left in gray with them.
Yeah,
Maybe
I don't
it's a saying.
Or yeah. So basically saying they were taking.
I think gray, like muddy, like not clear.
Not clear. So basically saying they are taking away my offer, which I had to pry out of their HR person. So they didn't even tell him straight up, we're not hiring. We're not going to end up hiring you. They're like going around the bush about it, and that's okay. Crazy. So I gave my 2 weeks last week, so I'm unemployed come Friday, I guess. My current job is decent, and I never would have done this knowing. The new employer offered to reach out to my HR team at my current job. It feels too late to turn around since my current employer knows I'm willing and looking to leave. Also, their offboarding has already started. I don't think going back is the right move at this point. I guess I'm curious what to do in this situation and if the new company is liable for damages. At the moment, my recruiter is reaching out to gain clarification, and we will go from there tomorrow. The negligence from this new company is sort of outstanding from my point of view. Feels like this new employer is making me unemployed and do not have to face any repercussions.
That's a tough one. Because, so I've never had to sign this, what is it called?
Confidentiality agreement?
No, not that. I've actually signed those. Or like NDAs.
Oh, an offer letter?
An offer letter.
Yes, I have.
So I don't know what's in an offer letter. Is it an actual contract?
It's kind of like a contract telling you, this is what you have to do. This is going to be your job duties. This is what we're going to pay you. Do you accept? You sign it. Yes, I accept this offer for this amount that I'm going to get paid for these things that I need to do. And you send them the letter back. So it's not, I guess it's not a contract per se as like you're legally entitled to hire me.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're sending out an offer letter. The guy signed it. He did a drug test and everything. He gave his 2 weeks notice.
I love how you bring up the drug test like it's a big deal.
Well, I mean, if I went out of my way to go get a drug test and everything.
I mean,
I gave my 2 weeks notice and now I'm left without a job because what I'm thinking is that they didn't get the right okay from whoever the boss is to hire somebody in this department. They went ahead and gave him the offer letter and made him do all this stuff. And when they gave the paperwork to the boss was like, we don't have the budget for this, so we cannot hire this guy. And I think that's what happened. Because why else? Why else would you? It just makes no sense.
It could be so many things. I mean, it could be, well, first off, I think that with the right lawyer, they can probably get something out of it, just to get this headache out of their way. Yeah. It's kind of funny that their current, says here, the new employer, the one that never finally gave him the job, is willing to talk to his current HR team, which is like,
I guess to be like,
mom,
but what were they going to tell him? So we were going to hire your employer, but we're restructuring and we can't now. So can you please just have him keep his job?
I think what's going to happen there? I think at that point he's got to man up, assuming it's a man.
You can either go to your job and be like, look, the
this
job fell
happened,
through.
and then and then they just do whatever they want to do. If they already have somebody in line and you lost your job, then that's on you, I guess. I guess that's part of the risk of looking for a different job. Not that it should be considered a risk. It really shouldn't, but I guess in this scenario it is. But also I can kind of see it. So it's wrong for that new company to do what they did. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
The only thing I can imagine is, yeah, they were hiring without correct approval,
That's what
or
I
maybe
think.
something drastic changed. Maybe they lost like a couple of big clients and just suddenly, and they don't have the budget
I
for
know
it.
they don't have the budget.
Which
I don't know what
also,
kind of company it is. So
well,
it was in a development,
yeah, if they're front end, they're probably
development
like a web design.
position. So like a web design
That
company,
sounds
maybe.
like what it is.
Could be, maybe it's that. But yeah, it definitely sucks. He probably could get a lawyer and see what they think.
I always hate to recommend a lawyer, but
It's either that or
don't
just
know.
move on, try to find another job as fast as possible.
I think that's what it is.
I
think
get
it's
it.
a
You
sign.
you could go to your current job and be like, look, this is what happened. Can I keep my job?
He says he
But-
likes it, right?
But it's awkward. It's super awkward because they know you were looking, which means if you were looking, you're not 100% happy at your current job, or you were looking for a higher pay. So it could be either or. It's hard. It's hard to. That's the only other thing is to go and ask them and see if you can get your job back. And then it's their decision to keep you or to let you go. And either way, it's going to be awkward. So it's either that or just go ahead and keep looking for another.
Because it says my current job is decent, and I would never have done this knowing. So the way I would see this, but maybe I just think differently. I would see this as an opportunity. It just sucks if you have rent and you don't have enough saved up, and that's terrible. But use this opportunity. If you're not obviously happy where you are,
He says it's decent, which means it's okay.
yeah, you're not really happy.
It's, you probably get along with your employers, but you're just not happy. Yeah, you're not 100% happy.
Yeah, so you're not happy. So why not take this opportunity to look for something that's going to make you happy? I think I would try to turn lemons into lemonade, that kind of crap.
Yeah.
Because what else are you going to do? I mean, okay, so what options do you have? You have the lawyer route, which is a headache. Yeah, you could probably get something from it, but you're still not going to get the job. And even if you did get the job, do you want the job after you freaking sued them? No. Are you going to go back? Are you going to go back to
happen.
your employer that you left?
Yeah.
And
No, you have to look for another job, or
well, it depends on how.
depending what
if
he does, go on his own. I don't know what he does exactly.
I don't know. I would try to make an opportunity out of it and make the best out of it. The only thing that I would say that might work with going back is what I always tell people is not to burn bridges. So maybe if he left on good terms and maybe if he got along with everybody there, maybe he can explain the situation and maybe it's okay. It just depends on the situation. I mean, if he got along with the employers,
Right.
the employers or his employers,
Yeah.
his boss or manager, whatever in that company. I mean, it might be an open door, but the way I see things, I always try to make lemons out of lemonade and try to just make the best out of it. Use this opportunity, get something better. If you have the talents to go off on your own, then do it. Then if not, then look for another job that's going to make you happier.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. It's a terrible, I mean, I think
It sucks because if he doesn't have money saved and he has rent to pay and he has a car payment and you have all these things and now you're unemployed and you pretty much quit. So
I think that if you have to kind of there's a risk to changing jobs, period.
yeah, because regardless, he could have been there for a couple weeks and then they
yeah,
fired him
so you
or
need
he didn't like it so yeah, of course.
You always have to prepare for the
worst.
the unexpected, because you never know. You never know. Or what if the company goes, so that company could go bankrupt.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're 2 weeks in or 1 week in, and then you have no job suddenly. And I'm sure that's happened before. I'm sure it's happened like in 2008 with like Lehman Brothers and all these companies. I'm sure that happened to more people. And what are you going to sue them? They're bankrupt. You know, maybe it's different in this case, but I think it's think glass half full.
Yeah.
Make the best of the opportunity.
Yeah,
you're
I would just
okay,
move
you're
on.
decent, you're content. Be happy.
I would just
Do
move
something that's
on.
gonna make you happy.
I wouldn't get a lawyer. I would just move on and find another job.
He already has a recruiter that he's working with, so just
Exactly.
tell
So,
her
they,
or
well,
him.
they already know the situation, so I'm sure they're on it. Look for another job.
Yeah,
It
let's
is
just
what
move
it
on,
is.
do something else,
Yeah.
and that's it.
And maybe go to your employer and I don't know. I don't know. That's the two options. You go to your current employer and you try to get your job back and stick with it till you find something else,
It's crappy. There's no going around it.
or just find another job. Yeah.
It's an unfortunate situation, but I think some of the best opportunities in life come from these negative or what seemingly looks like negative situations. So you just got to make the best out of it. And it goes, if any of you ever have some sort of dilemma like this where you're like, oh, I can't believe this ever happened, this happened, or you broke up and you were so madly in love. I mean, it's corny, but things happen for a reason. Sometimes you got to just take what's given to you and just make the best out of it. And sometimes you'd be surprised how often that becomes an opportunity that you just never saw coming. You're like, you know what? If that had never happened, I would have never done this, and I would have never gotten this job. I would have never met that person. I would have never met these friends. I would never, it's just opportunities and doors that open from others closing. So that's the way I like to see things. Try to make it a little more positive.
Yeah. Things happen for a reason, so maybe he would have not been happy there or something else would have happened. Or like you said, maybe he would have gotten fired in like 2 weeks from then. So regardless, everything happens for a reason. He just has to look for another job or like you said, make an opportunity out of it. I don't know if this is something that he can do on his own freelance. Maybe try something, for yourself. So this by all means is not legal advice. Just putting that out there. This is just our opinion.
Especially considering that it's in the legal advice.
Yeah,
Reddit.
well, they actually blocked comments because I guess maybe, obviously, unless you're an actual lawyer or something, you cannot give legal advice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so by all means, this is not legal advice, just our opinions. But move on. Everything happens for a reason. It totally sucks. It does. I feel bad for the guy, but it is what it is.
Listen, I said it, this is going to be 3 times. Make lemonade out of the lemons you're given. Just do it. Make something positive.
Or a vodka tonic.
Yeah. Can you afford vodka? And club soda?
And club soda. Yeah,
Alrighty. Good luck.
Good luck.